Hi, I'm Rose McGowan. I play Paige Matthews, and you are watching Women of Charmed on E!
At the end of the show's third season, Shannon Doherty left her charmed life to pursue a directing career. Enter indie film actress Rose McGowan.
I'm one of those sort of things.
Well, she's a beautiful young lady. She's a very good actress, and she was exactly what we were looking for.
Spelling cast Rose as Paige Matthews, half-sister to Piper and Phoebe.
Graceful, as always.
Charmed marks Rose's first turn as a series regular, but she never set out to be an actress. With her exotic looks and natural talent, it wasn't long before a Hollywood casting agent discovered her.
I wasn't trying to be an actor, I was just visiting LA, and I got cast in a movie called Doom Generation, which is kind of cult classic indie film, which I love. And then I went back to Seattle for a while, and then I came back and I just done a bunch of movies, Scream, Jawbreaker, other things, and but I'm too tired to remember right now because of the long hours. I kind of never really thought about my career in terms of a career. I just thought it was kind of a funny interlude in my life. And I've had kind of an odd peripatetic existence, and I kind of expected that to continue, and it has.
Rose must have cast some kind of spell on the spelling team, because the character of Paige was written with her in mind.
I didn't really have to do any research on this role because, it was being created for me, and the executive producer, Brad Kern, who, writes a lot of the scripts as well, was amazing in that he really tried to infuse it, as much as he could, kind of with my own personality or what he thought were aspects of my personality that were fun to put in her, and she's just a really cool chick.
Paige is the youngest witch, so the sisters' relationships shifted significantly.
Well, there's been a few adjustments and a few changes, and Piper kind of has to become the older sister now and the responsible one and the one to give advice and stuff like that, so it's kind of a new role for her to play as well for me to play.
Yay! So we'll ring out the new and bring back the old.
In filming, I've noticed that the dynamic completely changes within the sisters as well, because now Phoebe's the middle child.
What's the matter, honey? Oh, nothing. It's just the last time I was here, I was with Finn. And I kind of feel guilty, like I led him to his end.
Going into a fourth season, it's exciting to be able to make it new again, because I think the fourth season in any television show is sort of where you hit that wall of creatively you've expended all of your options, and now that we have this new character, it's just endless, the possibilities.
Why aren't you a book?
And sisters and families' roles do change throughout the years, and so that's what's going on here.
You learn with experience that you can't dwell on the losses. You kind of have to harden your heart, protect your heart. Unfortunately, it's a fact of our lives that sometimes the good comes with a little sadness.
Being the new kid on an established show didn't faze Rose.
I've kind of been bounced around a lot, and I've always been kind of the new one. So it's a feeling I'm completely used to, and so it doesn't scare me. It's just kind of a challenge, and it's kind of fun.
She's extremely professional, beautiful, and very talented, and I think that she was nervous in the beginning, I think, although I don't know if she'll admit it.
Everybody's been making her feel very comfortable. It's just like going on to a new movie or anything else. It's just different.
So far, the most challenging thing for me on this set has just been getting used to the hours. I mean, I know everyone said episodic television is the hardest thing kind of in show business as an actor to do, and they are completely correct. They're not lying. In a movie you do hardcore hours, but it's done in a couple of months, and this is kind of going to go on for about 9 months. So just the mental adjustment is a little bit hairy.
Speaking of mental adjustment, does Paige have the power of invocation, divination, evocation?
Oh, that's a tough one to explain.
Rose's character has the coolest powers.
She has the ability to kind of move things with her mind like Prue could, but instead of actually like telekinesis, it's more like of her orbing power, because she's half white lighter, but she's half witch from our mother.
My powers are the ability to, I don't know, what would you say? If I said paper, it would appear in my hand. We're going to have your one question over again, I'm sorry. It'll give me time to try to figure out what the hell my powers are and how to explain them, because that's a complicated question.
It's very confusing. We spend a couple of episodes explaining it.
If you have the ability to sense where good is it possible that I have the ability to sense where evil is?
And if Rose had magic powers in real life, would she use them for good or evil? We'll let you decide.
I would cast a spell to make President Clinton be in office for another 4 years.
For the time being, Rose McGowan will concentrate her magic on the task at hand, the role of Paige Matthews.
Although I'm new, I've already fought a couple of demons, and I've already blown a couple things up, I think, accidentally. And so far, I've had 2 kind of love interests in 4 weeks. Thumbs up. It's fun being a woman of Charmed. I'm just, having fun, kicking some ass.
When we come back, a glimpse into the future of the Halliwell sisters.
I can't do it. Paige is right. It's trying way too hard to be hip, which means it's 5 minutes away from being 5 minutes ago.
The cast does have some say as to what they get to say on screen.
They're very open to hearing suggestions. Not that they'll follow through on any of them, but they're great about if we get a script and sometimes we'll read dialogue and it just won't fit into our mouths as actors, and they're great about sort of rearranging lines so that they still mean the same thing, but they're easier to say.
Oh, are you okay? I'm sorry I knocked, but nobody answered, and the door was unlocked.
Yeah, it usually is. Otherwise, demons come crashing through and it costs a fortune to fix. This season, we've had a read-through for every episode, and that's the time when if you don't agree or you'd like to change something, or if you have a point of view, a certain scene, or the way something's written, you can bring it up, to our writers or producers. So a little bit of a say, but I figure they're the pros at that and just pretty much do what they write.
Help! Come on!
While no one can foresee where the sisters will end up, the women of Charmed have some ideas of what they would like to see happen.
Well, first I'd like her to get a car. She still doesn't have a car. She's like 27 with no car. I actually brought up to the writers that I wanted a Vespa. And we're like, that's just going to look silly, so I don't think I'm going to get that. But I thought it'd be really funny if she shows up to a demon crime scene with a big helmet on. She screeches to a halt. I don't think they're going to go for that. But
I think they want to play with my character, and I like the idea of just playing and not having kind of any set career or set boyfriend or anything like that. Maybe later on. Alyssa's character and Holly's character obviously are serious relationships, and I don't think it's really ready or right for Paige to be doing that.
I don't think anybody knows where we're going at this point.
So keep watching.